Yo, what's up? This is Hal in Philly. And when I'm in my car, I listen to Dumbing It Down with Dave, the fastest podcast in the world. As a matter of fact, I'm going for a drive right now.
The following program is rated D for dumb.
Baby left me, my best friend's not at home. Can't get that woman off my mind. I've never been the brooding kind, but there's still one thing makes me come alive. Yeah, I'm gone for a drive.
The following podcast is rated D for dumb. You're listening to Dumbing It Down with Dave, the fastest podcast on earth. Listen to Dave commute to and from work on the New York State Thruway in his 2008 Kia Rio LX. He talks about pragmatism, truth, happiness, and the search for it all. Join Dave as he asks and tells you how life ought to be. And now, here's Dave.
Well, hello everybody. My name is Dave Canyon. Are you ready to dumb it down? Well, that's good news as I struggle to clear my throat at the start of the show. I try to snack on a little salami and cheese because I just came out of the Walmart at East Greenbush. And I figured, I'll grab a quick bite, and I guess it went down the wrong pipe, which, by the way, apparently is not true. Nothing goes down the wrong pipe. There's only one pipe. But somehow we end up doing it wrong. However we do it wrong, we do it wrong. But so I was choking there for a little bit. Anyway, welcome everybody to Dumbing It Down with Dave. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the Dumbcast in the Carcast. It's the going home cast as I am leaving after 4 days. I did not do overtime this week. 5 days, 4 days I've done in 4 days. 4 nights, I'm sorry, and I'm on my way home on the New York State Thruway. I'll be there in a couple of minutes. I just did some shopping. I bought some potatoes, some Idaho potatoes, and some onions because I'm going to make some potato pancakes. It's a kosher delicacy. I don't know if it's a delicacy. It's like home fries in a way, but the way the Jewish people make it, they make it like in a pancake. So it's potato pancakes. You know what? If I do a good job, I'll take a picture of it and I'll post it on the Dumbing It Down with Dave Facebook group or the Dumbing It Down with Dave Facebook page. One of those two. I have no idea. I should put it on the Dumbing It Down with Dave website. Yeah, one of these days I'm going to figure out where to put these pictures. I don't know. I still don't have clarity. Although it's somebody at Spreaker offered to explain to me, and I haven't taken them up on that, the difference between the Dumbing It Down with Dave Facebook page and the Dumbing It Down with Dave Facebook group. 2 different things. The group is for you, I'm pretty sure. The page, I think, is just for I don't know. It sounds like the group would be for you. For you guys to interact. You wouldn't interact on the page. So I'll try to post it to the group if I can figure out which one's which. All right, anyway, so I'm leaving the Walmart. I did some shopping. I got my milk. And I'm all good to go. It's been a hell of a week. Long nights. A little difficult. But great days because I worked out 3 days in a row. I worked out Thursday day and Friday day and Saturday day. And I worked out with machines for the first time in years. Worked out with the machines. No more kettlebells. And although straps have been introduced into the workout, and I have a feeling those are not going to be in the workout too much longer. I think I'm just going to dump the straps. I don't like the fact that it's not an exact science. And that's what I was telling my personal trainer. I was telling Jabari. I said, hey, man, I got to have exact science. I can't have variables. And I can't be relied on, by the way. Is this episode going to be called the By the Way episode? We'll see. If I say it enough, we'll give Patrick Maruki some credit, and we'll call this the By the Way episode. But by the way, I can't be relied on to remember how to do things that are not an exact science. That's a good thing. I'm embracing the fact that I have a hard time remembering. And I explained that to him. I said, listen, man, I'm a man of a certain age. I'm also a man of a certain exhaustion, all right? And you could be a woman of a certain age. You could be a woman of a certain exhaustion. And it comes time, crunch time, that, hey, I got to get this done. You go, was I supposed to pull more with my left? Was I supposed to put this thing? If I go inside out or I go outside in, and I don't want to hurt myself. That's the bottom line. I don't want to hurt myself. So I'm trying to make everything an exact science. And that's why I like the machines. You put in the peg, you do this, it's this weight, and I got a clipboard. I bought a clipboard. Actually bought two. Walmart makes you buy two of them, like for $1.88 or whatever. I got my Planet Fitness pen. There's a unlimited supply of those yellow and purple capped pens. And I got the whole Excel spreadsheet there. And I got my, where the abdominals go and the abs go and the arms go and this, everything's got a little line and a box for the weight number and all this other stuff. And I'll probably modify this, I'll modify that. I remember last time I really, got that sheet down. I really had it down. I made it work for me, and I was very diligent, man. I had sheets upon sheets I would fill out. I worked out at Planet Fitness for a long time. And I went from 291 to 225 pounds. And I went from barely walking 50 feet to running half marathons. Staten Island Half Marathon, November 2020. Depending on if my schedule changes, that'll be the goal. The goal would be to be ready to run the Staten Island Half Marathon, November of 2020. Dude, what are you doing? Oh, you want me to go apply? Okay. Yeah, somebody's just going slow on this entrance ramp and waved me alongside to the right. That's very weird. And it's like 2 weeks in a row I had a live interchange with another car. So there you go, a little dumbing it down with Dave, getting live. All right. So so I explained the fitness part. Yeah, so that's all covered in Dave's Fit Life, by the way. I did a couple of YouTube videos this week. I probably should have did one just now, but I don't have much different to report than the one I did yesterday. So if you haven't checked it out, go over to Facebook. No. Yeah, you could go to Facebook because, again, I have a Dave's Fit Life group and page, whatever. And go to YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and click on the icon and get notifications and share everything with your world. I greatly appreciate it. You follow me as I struggle to get fit and fit things in my life. And at one point, I was living in a Honda Fit, but now I'm living in a Dodge Caravan, which has its own different challenges. Everything has a challenge. The Caravan is actually very spacious. It's just a little bit more difficult to keep warm. Well, except when the sun's out. When the sun's out, the van will stay 60 degrees inside. But once that sun goes down, boy, that temperature in that vehicle drops pretty quickly. All right, so there are other challenges, but I talk about that more during the video of Dave's Fit Life. Not so much here on Dumbing It Down with Dave. I try to keep the two separate. Try to keep it separate. Doesn't always happen. Doesn't really matter. There are no rules. All right, so what happened this week? What have I not expanded on? By the way, thanks to Alex Exum at the top of the show. Alex Exum, ALEXEXUM, for doing the intro. Thanks to Hal and Philly. Hal and Philly with the song Going for a Drive, but also this week dropped a little promo action. I've been asking people this day, drop me a little promo. So he dropped a little promo. There you go. And by the way, it's the fastest podcast on earth. I've never, ever said fastest podcast in the world. That doesn't sound right. Fastest podcast on earth kind of sounds like Barnum and Bailey, like the greatest show on earth. For some reason in the world, that doesn't ring. So, Hal, if you want to do another one, you can do another one. You can correct it. I'll delete this one. Fastest podcast on earth. Pragmatism, truth, happiness, and the search for it all. That's what we try to do here. We don't always accomplish it, but we try. And I think this week what we're going to do is we're going to go to show comments because we're falling behind, and I don't want to do that. Well, I mean, we already have done that. But also, I want to talk about something else here. Let me see if I can get to it. If I can get to it without messing everything up, let's see if I can get to it. Where am I here? If I do this, as I drive over the rumble strips, not hazard. Not hazard. I know what I'm doing. All right, here we go. Okay, here's a couple of things I wanted to talk about. Because it's come up in a couple of shows about me. Okay, a couple of shows ago I talked about being in a naval ship, a naval vessel. And they had machine. I was talking about forest fires and all that stuff. Like, there's got to be a solution. If we're 3/4 of the earth is water, 3/4 There's only one little teeny weeny fourth. If you want to turn it into eighths, it's 6/8 water. That's a lot of water. 6/8. It's hard to say. It's easy to calculate. And it is 2/8 or 1/4 land. Should not be a problem controlling forest fires, right? Shouldn't be. So I was talking about getting water from the ocean to put out these fires. Well, at least keep the woods wet. And if we started 50 years ago, that project, which everybody said, oh, they'll never do it, there's no money in it. There's money in it because people are being forced to evacuate their homes. People are dying. Animals are dying. Farms are dying. I mean, firemen are dying. Right there, boom. Firemen are dying. It's cost a lot of money and resources to put these fires out. So I talked to, why am I shouting? Am I always shouting? Do I always shout? I need, Linda, if you're listening, if you have the time, or Hal, or anybody, I needed something about, hey, stop shouting. We can hear you. We hear you. The microphone works good. Finally got the sound issue worked out. In the Navy, on the ships, they have something. I couldn't remember exactly what they were called. So I went to this Facebook group that I'm a part of, and I asked them, my buddies, my naval buddies, what is it called? And I was right. It's called an evaporator. They're not called distillers. They're not called desalinators or anything like that. They're called evaporators. And depending on the size of the ship, depends on the size of the evaporator. And I don't know technically. I could have delved in a little bit more into this topic on Facebook with these guys, but I didn't have the time. And I don't know how much water these evaporators produce. A little bit of water, a lot of bit of water. Well, okay, how about this? When I was on the USS Dallas, SSN 700, it was a submarine. Not the same exact USS Dallas you saw in the movie. That's a different submarine, type of submarine. This was a fast attack. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I think we had a crew of 110, maybe 105. I forget. It's something like it was over 100 guys. But when I was on the USS Mobile, I think there were 600 guys, 300 Navy, 300 Marines. When I was on the USS Sunbird, I think we had like 50 guys or something. It was like much smaller, glorified tugboat. It was like more like a submarine. It was a submarine rescue ship, the ASR 115. No, the Sunbird. The Mobile was the LKA 115. The Sunbird was the ASR 50 Auxiliary Submarine Rescue -15, I think it was. Anyway, they only had like 50, 60 guys. Whatever, a small crew. But so they'll only have the evaporator the size that they need. They're not going to have a super evaporator, but they do take water from the ocean. I don't know how they do it. If I had the capability, I'd make a little YouTube series out of it. Do a show. How do they make water from salt water? And I don't remember drinking it. I just don't remember drinking it. I must have, because they drink a lot of water. And they don't have bottled water. I know that was not a thing back in the day. So anyway, it's called evaporator. You know what's funny, though? I posted something in this group that I'm on, this naval group. And oh, my God. The thread was crazy. Like, oh, it's called this, it's called that. And it was located on the port side of the ship, starboard side of the ship. And then guys would get into arguments. No, there's not one, there was two. There's two. No, it was just all these different, like, wow, we argue about everything now. Anyway, evaporator. It's called evaporators. And then last week I talked about they called me to come in for overtime. No, they didn't call me. They thought I was coming in. They called me and said, hey, are you coming in? I go, no, I'm not doing overtime. I'm not signed up. I blacked my name out. Well, I did a show, the previous show, and then I went to inside the office and I looked. Sure enough, it was blacked out. And in fact, I wanted to explain. I blacked it out with a magic marker. So you couldn't see my name at all. I blacked it out with a magic marker. And I blacked it out Sunday when I left, just like now. By the way, it is Sunday, December 22nd, and it's a sunny day in New York. It's 1:42 now, p.m. It's a sunny day in New York. Another sunny day. I don't know how many days in a row we're going to have like this, but the weather's been horrible. It's been like a little icy, rainy, snowy, all that winter stuff. But today it's getting a little bit warmer, and a lot of the snow will melt. And got a couple of nice days on my off days. I appreciate that. So there you go. Evaporator. I did black out my selection for overtime, and I blacked it out with a magic marker. And then I said something about me being repetitive. Why am I always repetitive? Why do I repeat shows? Why do I repeat ideas and thoughts? First of all, you're listening. These things stand out to you because you're listening to it. I'm just saying it. And frankly, when this show's over and I publish it, I forget almost everything I ever said. So it's hard for me to remember that I did or did not discuss it. Sometimes I have a clue. Like, I think we talked about that. Maybe I'll get better at it as I get healthier. Maybe I'll get better at it as I get towards episode 200 or 300. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think you remember more of your shows when you have more of an inventory. But I am repetitive because I'm tired, but I don't remember a lot. I don't remember a lot of things. Also, what would I write here? Also, Happy Holiday versus Merry Christmas and Xmas. All right, listen, folks. I say Happy Holidays. There's nothing political attached to that. I'm not going to make it a thing. I hope you don't make it a thing, because people can say, oh, why don't you just say Merry Christmas? Well, first of all, being Jewish, there are no rules. I could say Merry Christmas, but I want to somehow not insinuate. I want to if I'm going to say anything, and I usually say nothing, but if I'm going to say something, I'm going to say Happy Holidays, because for me, as a Jew, I'm saying Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah. And out of respect, not that I know anything about it, a little Kwanzaa. I give you a little Kwanzaa action. I give you about 40% Christmas, 40%, maybe 50%, because more people are Christian than they are Jewish everywhere I go. I'm always like the only one. So let's say I give you about 60, I give you like 60 Christmas, right? I give you 35, 40, no, I can't. Yeah, I give you 35 Hanukkah, right? I'm doing math. 60 Christmas, 35 Hanukkah, 5 Kwanzaa. I mean, I give you 4 Kwanzaa. Maybe there's some miscellaneous I forget. I don't know about. I throw it in there. So it's, for me, it's holidays. Holidays. I'm just being polite. I'm not trying to be anti-Christ or anti-anything. I could care less. So I just want you to know, if you're out there, you're getting upset because somebody's saying to you, Happy Holidays instead of Merry Christmas, keep that in mind. They might not be all that Christian. They might not be all that of a celebrator of the Christmas holiday. All right. So I don't really care. I do get a little bit bothered when they say Xmas. Xmas is that anything? Right? Xmas? I don't think that's a thing. So I get a little perturbed when I see that. I'm like, why are you doing Xmas? That's not even a thing. All right. So that's it. That's all I got. And is that it? Is that it for the show? No, let's do some listeners' comments. First of all, let's see where we are with the show. Remember last week I couldn't see? Where are my glasses? Oh, there they are. 17 minutes. All right, 18 minutes in. All right, let's do the show. You want to start the show? Let's do the show. All right?
Dave, dear,
no,
this is Emma.
No, Emma, you're wrong.
This is not the show you wanted to do.
No, it is. It absolutely is. You know what it is, Emma? You jumped the gun there a little bit. You jumped the gun. You didn't think it was the show. It is the show. Sometimes I'll break the ice for 18 minutes. Sometimes I'll break the ice for 5 minutes. But that's stuff I wanted to cover. It all depends. There's no rules. Dumbing it down with Dave. You're free to be you, free to be me. Isn't it like a Marlo Thomas thing from back in the 60s, early 70s or something? Free to be you, free to be me. All right. Let's...
Dave,
okay.
Sorry to interrupt.
Well, that's twice, but whatever.
This is Hazel.
Oh, you're Hazel. The other one was Emma. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What do you need? What can I do for you?
I think you should take a drink break.
All right, I'm going to do that right now. You're right.
Feeling better
yes,
now?
I am. Thank you. And thanks to Linda from Awesome Insanity Surfers for providing the AI voices. And check out her show, Awesome Insanity Surfers. They're doing this crash dystopia thing. I can't tell you that I understand what crash dystopia is, but it's the same. No, it's not. It's a continuation of the story she was doing for a couple of years now. But there's been a massive change in the environment. It's a massive change in the world. Let me tell you something. Linda Irwin's a scriptwriter. She's a scriptwriter. She's a sci-fi scriptwriter. Is it comedy? Not really. Not in the last couple of episodes. It's gotten a little serious. I think she's drawing from her real true life experiences of trying to survive in McCall, Idaho. I don't know, because it's very apocalyptic over there sometimes. I know she's getting buried right now. So she's in that house. She can't get out unless they tunnel. They got a tunnel out the window. They tunnel out through the kitchen window. I've seen pictures. And they tunnel out through the roof, the chimney, whatever. But McCall, Idaho will get buried. She'll get buried with like 5 feet of snow or something like that. And she probably just, sits there by the laptop or the typewriter or whatever, and she just starts typing. or this apocalyptic type AI, crazy sci-fi scripts. And I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the story. It's continued on. All right, so that's it. So check out Linda Irwin, Awesome Insanity Surfers. She provides the AI voices, and I mentioned Hal. Hal does Tales of the Road Warrior, and he also does It's Easy When You Know How. Everything is found on Spreaker. Alex, Hal, and Linda are all found on Spreaker, as well as I am. And by the way, in the last week or so, I gained like another 3 or 4 platforms. I'm on a platform called Messy FM, MESSY FM, I think, .com. What do you think that's all about? I have no idea. I'm also on a platform now called Radio Public or Radio Republic. What do you think that's all about? I have no idea. But I keep on, typing and doing this and doing that. And I say, oh, look at that platform. I'll go on that one. It's all free, right? There's like 20 of them. You only need like 2. Not really. You need about 3 or 4. But I don't know how these guys stay in business. I want to see their offices. I want to understand what's their game. What's your game? I mean, how are you going to make money when there's 20 people, 20 companies all doing the same exact thing? I think I joined another one too. I can't remember. There's a few. It doesn't matter. Whatever you're listening to is good enough. Apple Podcasts, which is also iTunes. Spreaker is fine. My website, Spotify. But I just once again, if you haven't written into the show, feel free to tweet in at Done with Dave. Tweet in, let me know, or leave a comment here on the Spreaker box. A lot of these platforms do not have places for you to leave comments. That's why I pushed the Spreaker. There was another one that has a comment thing. I can't remember what it was. I'm going to make a list one day. Yeah, one of these days. I'm going to make a list of all the platforms I'm on and all the pros and cons of all these platforms. They really are all basically the same. Spreaker has a comment box. Also, Spreaker goes live. You can go live, which I never do in the car. All right, let's do listeners' comments. That's enough of everything. Let's get to it, all right? Let's get to it. All right, the last show I did, we're going to start from the last show I did and work our way older. We'll do as many as I can. I'll read the comments as they come into the show. All right, episode 184, 2 guys who didn't call. TWO, 2, the number 2. 2 guys who didn't call, number 184. I published that on December 19th. In this episode called 2 Guys Who Didn't Call, Dave talks about 2 guys who neglected to call him. He also talks about a few other things as well. Yep, that is true. That's what I did. All right, so let's go to the comments. It says here I got 16 of them. That's a lot. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I'm down at the bottom. Of course, feel free to comment politely. Patrick Maruki jumps in there and says, you did a great job at the show. Very funny. Oh, he's talking about my appearance at Pat's Place. Pat's Place in Nutley, New Jersey. You know what? I remember now there was a table of teachers. I did good crowd work that day. There was a woman who left early, and she was a little dramatic. I think she got into it with a waiter or a waitress. I don't remember. But she was a little dramatic, and we had fun with that. And then there was a table of teachers, and there was one woman, I think she was retiring, or she was going to go have sex with somebody. I don't know. She was out. Teachers are crazy. When they're not in the classroom, when they're out in real life, they're crazy. And there were like 5 or 6 of these women, and they were drinking pretty good. And the one was really, she was drinking, she was laughing, she was crying, she had schnock coming out of her nose. It was just really just not appropriate for a teacher's behavior. Well, I mean, at a comedy club, yes, but not in real life. And so it was like, whatever her name was, like Mrs. Crabtree, I would love to go to her classroom and show everybody, hey, this is your teacher. This is what she was doing Saturday night with the girls, drinking, having schnock coming out of her nose. She was crying. She was laughing so hard. She was laughing. Everybody was having a good time. I forgot what I said to her. I was picking on her because she was drunk, and she's a teacher, and she was at a table with a whole bunch of other teachers that are women, and they were all drinking. It probably was her birthday or something. I don't remember. Anyway, we had a couple of mafia guys there sitting in a corner. That was fun. I remember that. I remember there was a yellow couch behind me. I did a little Tom Cruise impression. I actually had a friend there with his wife. It was good. It was a good night. It was a good night. Patrick was laughing, and Randy, his wife, Randy Simone Lupo, I'll never forget, referred to me, first time it happened. First time it's ever been said by a woman, even including my wife. It's never been said since. But Patrick Maruki's wife, Randy Simone Lupo, comedian, funny female comedian, referred to me as hot. She said I was hot. She goes, I don't care what anybody says. He's hot. And I was like, whoa. Wow. So that really, that blew me away. blew me away. It's just that's nice. Women should, ladies, if you can do that more often, guys like that. Say, you know what? You're a good-looking guy. Well, what? Yeah. Has anybody ever said that to you? No. Yeah, you're a good-looking guy. Really? Well, you're very pretty. I mean, don't make it lead to something. You know what I'm saying? Throw a compliment out there. Because guys do that all the time. Oh, you look nice, honey. Oh, you look like, hey, sweetheart. Yeah, you look hey, waitress, say whatever. I don't do it all the time because nowadays it's too dangerous. But, back in the day, I threw out a compliment or two. But nobody ever throws me one. But she said it on a microphone. Started the show with it. I don't care what anybody says. She's hot. I think I have it on DVD. I think I do. All right. Gail Nobles. I haven't heard from her in a long time. Great show with a thumbs up hand picture thing. All right. Linda Irwin wrote, if you were flat, a 6-foot blanket would cover you. But there are some hills of terrain that the blanket goes over. LOL. Yes, you're right, Linda. That's true. Okay, so maybe that explains why the 6-foot blanket doesn't work on me. Okay. Linda Irwin wrote, I only have one joke, too. It's called My Life. Funny, Linda. Linda Irwin wrote, gotta love Harry, Emma, and Hazel. Patrick Mason wrote, it's 1:34 a.m., and I'm getting ready to get down with the dumb. All right? Patrick Mason wrote, we are heading down the rabbit hole 6 minutes and 10 seconds in. I re-listened to the show. I don't remember the rabbit hole, but I did re-listen. Dave Canyon is the new Simon Cowell. I'm trying to remember exactly what that's in reference to, but I can't remember. I did re-listen to the show. So thank you, Patrick. I don't mind being a Simon Cowell. I once did a Last Comic Standing in Albany, and people had said that about me. Yeah. I can be pretty uptight. Patrick Mason, well, I have standards. Patrick Mason wrote, tarping a car is a great idea. Never thought of that. Patrick Mason. Yeah, I have good ideas. I just don't make them, I don't do anything with them. Patrick Mason wrote, I have a weighted blanket and love it. There you go. Patrick Mason wrote, to be a writer, you must be a writer. You know what? I didn't get it the first time I read it. I'm getting it now. I get it. To be a writer, you must be a writer. Very good, Patrick. Look at Patrick. Should have his own show by now. All right. Patrick Mason wrote, 300 pounds, 3 question marks. 300 pounds? Now that's a milestone. That's true. Patrick, it's more than a milestone. It's like a mile boulder. All right. Patrick Mason wrote, go to the YMCA and start swimming. Yeah, I don't want to. The Y is far from where I am. But yeah, I know what you're saying. I should do that. I love swimming. I enjoy it. I'm going to get a pool one day. I know it. Patrick Mason wrote, in 14 hours you will feel abused and unappreciated. That's true. Patrick Mason wrote, you just proved to all of us that 30 minutes is not enough of the dumb. Today, it truly was the fastest podcast on earth. Look at Patrick with the compliments. Very nice. Very nice. All right, how are we doing on time? 22 minutes. All right, I do have time to comment on another show. So let's do that. Oh, boy, what did I just hit? See, I get nervous. I hit the wrong button. All right, let's do this. Let's get rid of that. Let's do this. Let's go to show 183. 183 was you name the show. I can't. That was the name of the show. You name the show. I can't. I listened to that show 2 or 3 times, and I listened to it the 3rd time because I wanted to pick up on something. This is a time-consuming thing, folks. I don't just do a show and go, all right, here's our name. I got to think of a good name. Something catchy, something that makes sense, something somewhat clever, somewhat. I listened to this show 3 times, and I couldn't come up with anything. So I just got so tired because I knew I wasn't going to publish it. I was getting to the point, how I get. I wasn't going to publish it. So I said, you know what? I can't name the show. I'll let them do it. And Patrick Marucci is the big winner. He referred to it as By the Way. The By the Way, the show, or something like that. The By the Way show. All right. Show number 183. In this show, Wired Up Dave addresses as many issues as he can possibly remember. He thanks people for helping him with the show. Gives kudos to Linda Irwin and her awesome Insanity Surfer show. Talks about possibly campaigning for an award at next year's iHeartRadio Podcast Awards. Yeah, maybe. So we'll do it for fun. Nothing serious. He talks about some good news at work and how happy he is to be part of a team. That's right. That was last Sunday. Guys helped me out. They brought trailers up. It was good. Today we didn't do it because we didn't have to. He mentions his dissatisfaction with working Saturday nights. Yeah, did I do that? Sometimes I bring that up, I think, right? Sometimes. All this and much more fills the entire 30 minutes of this episode. There you go. All right. How are we doing on the compliments at 183? All right, 10 comments. Did I say compliments? 10 comments. The other show was 16. This was 10. I wrote, thank you for listening. Would you like to name the show? Give it a go. If I like your title, I'll change it. No prizes, just credit for the title. Yeah, I got nervous. I can't change it. I don't know how that affects the RSS feed and all that. I'm not changing the title. But I will create another show. Maybe this show will be the By the Way show. By the way, this will be the By the Way show. I got to say By the Way a couple of times more to make it make sense. All right. Patrick Maruki, here we go. Wrote, hey. He wrote, how about By the Way? There you go. I think I'm going to call it the By the Way show. Yeah, maybe I'll just call it By the Way. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. Linda Irwin wrote, Emma would use blue lights. She loves shopping specials. Trying to remember what that's in reference to. But I'm sure it made sense. Thank you, Linda. I really appreciate you commenting. Linda Irwin wrote, you are very unique, Dave. No one can do dumbcasts or carcasts like you, even if they try. Thanks for the kudos. Oh, that's right. I think I was talking about Linda's script writing. She writes a great script. She really can write. The woman can write. I think it's nice that she's held captive. I think that helps that she's a prisoner in her own home. I think if she had the freedom to roam about the country, she probably wouldn't write as much. Maybe she would. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Linda Irwin wrote, it's been snowing here all day and into tonight. Yeah, that's that McCall, Idaho weather. Oh, my God. Harry is up to his old shenanigans again, went to peek into his file folder, and he quickly shut it. Yeah, that Harry. Linda Irwin wrote, I miss doing 2 a.m. table reads via Skype. Those were fun. All right, Linda. Well, you know what? When I interview for the show one day, we'll have to talk about those table reads. Hazel and the others, Linda Irwin wrote, Hazel and the others are people, just without bodies. Oh, that's right, because I wasn't sure how to describe an AI. They are people. They just don't have bodies. Hal Aaron wrote, kind of a milestone. Hal Aaron wrote, talk about sump pumps. Listen to the first few minutes of my conversation with Jay David. All right, that's probably in reference to Tales of the Road Warriors, Hal Aaron. There we go. All right, that's got to be enough, right? That's 2 shows we did. Oh, no, what happened? Oh, I went over. Yeah! All right, guys. I'm not going to edit this show. It's going to be 3 minutes over. I lost count. I'm an idiot. All right, see you next episode. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for everything. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for naming the show. Thanks for all that you do. I greatly appreciate it. This is too long. I got to cut it. I don't know what I'm going to do. Lynn, I'm sorry. It's too long. I don't know what... I got it. I can't shut up. I don't know what I'm going to do. Thank you for listening to this episode of Dumbing It Down with Dave. Goodbye, good day, good night, good luck, good riddance, Godspeed, good rats, and great skills. Take care.